Hi, and welcome back. This is the second video in my MDSOA series. If you haven't seen the first video, consider checking it out. It goes something like this.
Wait, free to play? It sounds too good to be true.
Because it is!
No, it can't be. No. Oh god. It was meant to be a mobile game. It's a mobile otoma game. They strike again. I've been fooled.
The story begins with a young woman, Tsubasa Fujimoto. Oh, she collided with someone because she wasn't looking where she's going. She forgot her wallet.
Tsubasa can't do anything. Tsubasa can't defend herself.
Tsubasa can't move. Why is she always just a passive observer? Isn't she supposed to be a main character?
Mother of the year, everyone. Tsubasa picks Sho.
Plot. How is that so much happened, yet it feels like nothing happened at all? Sho jumps in front of her.
Yeah, he dies.
Boom! Sho is back. Of course, Sho and Tsubasa win. Point of view stories is what it sounds like. Epilogue is worse. She fucking forgives her. Filthy. Pathetic. The also long-awaited end. Okay, so that was not what I expected. But it's my fault, really. I really should be keeping an open mind. Look, I'm going to read the next route, and I will probably like it a lot more. But enough about that. This part is dedicated to Tatsuya. Okay, let's sum up what we know about him. He looks nerdy, he's borderline rude, and from Sho's route we also found out that he's an ice dragon, and his mom doesn't have any hobbies. Alright, so he's a tsundere with a known family, got it. Sounds fun, let's get into it. 3 days passed, and she didn't notice. Next chapter is a boring and pointless slice of life. Tatsuya's been judgmental and misogynistic piece of trash. What's with the memory issues in this town? It's official, I hate Moras. So in this alternative universe, Tsubasa chooses Tatsuya, because he seems the most reliable. Tatsuya agrees that he is the best choice, but also annoyed that he has to babysit Tsubasa now. He's pressed for time as it is. Like right now he's late for work, and as he puts it, if Tsubasa wants him to take her home, they better hurry. She agrees, but still thinks he's a jerk for walking faster than her. You didn't have to go with him, you know? He said he's late, obviously he's gonna hurry. But the whole "I'm doing you a favor by performing my duties as your partner" from Tatsu is pretty annoying. On the way home, Tatsu explains some basic info to Tsubasa. She has magic, she has zero control. She should get some control, so she stops blowing things up. She's offended because she's not the type to have a problem controlling her feelings. Well, she said it, so it must be true. It's not like what we've seen in the previous route proves otherwise. By the way, small note, but how do the dudes know where she lives? I could understand with Sho they were walking together, but Tatsuya leads, like speed walking there, so how does he know where to go? I guess Tsubasa told him, but we didn't see it. Still, she must have, because other ways to find out are pretty stalkerish. Anyway, Tsubasa is too tired and slow, and Tatsuya is now super late to work. So he picks her up and runs to her apartment, then swiftly apologizes, tells her to rest, and runs off. Nice and efficient. 3 days later, Tsubasa goes to a club meeting, but it's only her and Tatsu there. She impresses him with some sick ideas for a business club, like going to check out some businesses. Revolutionary, I know. And then, since no one else came to the meeting, he walked her home. I could swear something like this happened recently. Oh well. They talk about her magic powers on the way. She even has magic. Nothing else happened since that explosion. He points out that magic is not gonna just disappear, and also one of her eyes is green now. And this is a huge shock to Tsubasa. This bitch is surprised. I was raging about her not noticing her eye for a day in Sho's route, but I should have waited. 3 days. 3 f***ing days passed, and she didn't notice. Are you legit blind, Tsubasa? Is your vision -100 even with glasses on? She blames it on being so distracted with all of her problems, but I call bull. She panics, Tatsu calms her down. Afterwards, he explains how her heterochromia is here to stay, and he will also add some more basic level magical classes to her schedule, because she's too dumb to understand anything he explains to her now. Maybe he's the dumb one, putting her into advanced classes right away when she's a beginner. Next day, Taku flirts with Tsubasa a little in the elevator, and this is important, because how she responds is the first choice in the route. The choice's placement continues to baffle me. When she comes out of the elevator, she meets an annoyed Tatsuya, whose clothes look more relaxed. At least she says so. The only thing that changed is the pattern of his shirt. And then she gets surprised by Taku, who appeared out of nowhere. He came out of the elevator after you. She already forgot, or... This is silly. In class, Tatsu shows off his sick ice powers, and Tsubasa is too busy fantasizing about his body. Focus on the lesson, you perf. After class, they are about to go home again? Wow, this route starts slow. Her dad invites her to dinner to talk about business. With Tsubasa? I doubt that's a good idea. Tatsu offers to go with her to the station since he's going there anyway, and he can help with the rain that is about to go down. She thinks he's pushy. You can refuse if you'd rather be alone. It's not that he's pushy, it's that she's spineless. He is pushy though, and arrogant. Wanna know how Tatsu helps with the rain? He turns it into snow, which impresses Tsubasa big time. She's like, wow, it's so pretty, it's amazing. And here I am, wondering, how does it help? The snow is still water. If it falls on you, you'll still get wet. Did he turn it to snow and also blocked it from touching them? Because it was never mentioned. Also, we told this a bit later, but Tatsu revealed some lore on their walk. So, their university was founded as a neutral ground between supernatural folks and humans. But then supernaturals decided to hide away, and so the magical basement was built for them. And it was named after one of the most famous sorcerers and the uni patrons. Tatsu notes that Tsubasa has a deeper connection to the uni, and she is so confused by this. What did he mean? I'm truly impressed by the level of her idiocracy. Her mom was a mortal sorceress. She told her that. Now Tatsu says Uni is named after a famous sorceress, and Tsubasa has a deeper connection with it. How are dots not connecting? I do not know. Tsubasa arrived at her dad's company and is now waiting in lobby for him to finish up business. She's too busy thinking about the impossible mystery that is her deeper connection to the Uni to notice a dude talking to her. Meet Katsunosuke Kazema, or Katsu for short. He's a new handsome guy with a sprite that immediately flirts hard with our protagonist. So I'm sure he's no one important. That was the case with Julius, right? Yeah, he's here to have a meeting with Tsubasa's dad. He turns out to be a super influential dude that owns a lot of small shops and huge spa chain, and he wants to sell it all. He answers everything that Rokuro, Tsubasa's dad, remember, wants to know and asks no question in return. It seems he wants those businesses gone, profit or not.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
And we know all this because Tsubasa was allowed to sit on the meeting. Why? Because plot, duh. At the end of the meeting, Katsu gives Tsubasa his personal number and email, in case she wants to go on a date sometime. During a business deal? And in front of her father? I'm not sure if I'm creeped out or impressed by his chutzpah. Finally, Tsubasa and Rokuro go to dinner. After some small talk about school, he asks her about Katsu, specifically if she's gonna go on a date with him. That's really awkward. But not as awkward as him pushing Tsubasa to do just that, because he's a client, even after she told him that the guy gives her the creeps. Dad of the year, everyone. And this nice dinner ends with Tsubasa almost having another panic attack at the mention of her mother. Very nice evening overall. Next chapter is a boring and pointless slice of life, so I'll sum up it real quick. Tsubasa has a nightmare about her mom. Tatsu asks her to study sesh and she agrees. She gets on a magical train to Chowa where she meets Emi, who's a mage. They bond over anime. Emi joins the study sesh, which happens at Tatsuya's family cafe and also his job. Unfortunately, that means we have to meet Chisaki, who is as annoying and noisy as before. Tsubasa can't do even the simplest magic. Shinji and Sho appear, seemingly only to tell us that Emi's brother hangs out with them sometimes. Tatsu has to work and Tsubasa wants to help, insisting that even though she has no experience, she's not useless. She is. She works the register, but doesn't know how to process card payments. Honestly, it's the mistake of whoever put her on register duty. Tatsu tries to explain to her how to process cards, but she's immediately distracted because Tatsu smiled at the customer. I find her inability to focus on her job truly infuriating. It is evening now, and Chisaki sends them to deliver a few drinks to some piano bar. There's some lame explanation like the staff really likes Chisaki's coffee, but honestly they just needed to be there for plot to happen. When they get to the bar, Tatsu is mesmerized by a piano, like it's the first time he sees it. Which is weird, because he supposedly was in this bar several times already, and it's a piano bar, yet he never noticed the piano. They play for a bit until a new character appears. A girl named Haruna. You know how it goes. She has a sprite that means she's important. She calls Tatsuya by his first name, and Tsubasa is immediately jealous. Oh, so she likes him already. Just like that. Cool. Calling someone by their first name is a big thing in Japan, in case you were confused. Haruna thinks those two are dating, Tatsu corrects her, and Tsubasa is low-key offended. Haruna and Tatsu start chatting like old friends and Tsubasa feels awkward, so she goes to the barman's. They assume Tsubasa and Tatsu are dating. I would say I have a deja vu, but the same thing literally just happened. And give Tsubasa a payment for the drinks. And the anxiety was real for me on this one. I was like 90% sure she would lose the money or something, and I don't think I could handle more incompetence from her. Luckily, this doesn't happen. Instead, when Haruna goes back to work, Tatsu is just standing there, spacing out and straight up ignoring Tsubasa, so she flips out, shoves money into him, thank god the cash is not in her hands anymore, and runs away. Now she feels bad about the whole Tatsuya situation, and to get her mind off it, agrees to go on a date with Katsu, who she forgot after just one day. Not a type to forget stuff, my ass. And it's not a date. She specifies that it's a business-only date. Like that would matter for a pushy dude like Katsu. They go to Galen's cafe, so you know Tsubasa will be freaking out about her mother. Also Hikaru is here. Why? Because the plot needed someone to warn Tsubasa to be careful around Katsu. It's a pretty boring date and no new info is gained. At the end of it though, Tatsu and Chisaki arrive at the cafe, so Chisaki can get Tatsu a nepotism job. Tsubasa doesn't want Tatsu to know about her business-only date, so she tells Katsu she wants to go to dinner now and practically runs away from the cafe. They never get to the dinner though, as someone attacks them. Katsu seems to have some water powers, but that doesn't matter. The hoodie person attacks Tsubasa. She freezes, loses control again, uses her ice powers. Why does her powers depend on the dude she's with? And passes out. When she wakes up, she finds herself in a strange room in a huge mansion, with Katsu sleeping beside her. She freaks out, understandably, at least she's closed, and immediately tries to escape. The mansion seems to be really far from the city because she can see a lot of stars, even though Sho said that you can see the stars everywhere because of that weather spell. So how would she get home? Don't worry girl, plot gotcha. Taku appears and takes her home on his scooter. How convenient. On the way he interrogates her, and I don't like the way he forms his questions. What were you doing in his bed? First, why does it sound so accusatory? Second, none of his business. And third, when she tells him she doesn't remember how she got into that bed, he's not concerned at all. He's more interested in the attack. Damn, with friends like these. When they get to her apartment, he also warns her about Katsu. She now only needs one person for a 3x combo. She has a nightmare again, but this time she wakes up to find that she unconsciously froze her sweat. That's a bit concerning, losing control over your powers when you're not even conscient. Imagine waking up and finding out you blew up half a street. She really should tell someone about those power outbursts. But I doubt she will, considering she has an it is what it is attitude about it. Oh, and remember that thing in Sho's route when she goes retrospective out of nowhere? Well, she does it again in this route. Why? It never comes back again. It makes no sense. It's so dumb. Okay, I'm okay. It's fine. Let's continue. After those 2 weeks, apparently, Tsubasa goes to the business club and after the meeting confronts Taku. You stupid dumb idiot. I thought you're supposed to be a reliable one. That's why I chose you. Yet here you are, ignoring me for 2 goddamn weeks when you're supposed to be my partner. Aw, you're busy? Well, why the fuck you agreed to partner up then? Make some time, or I swear I would blow this whole city up and I'll start with your shabby house. I wish that was what she said, but it was shorter and lamer version. He apologizes, but he still can't make time for her today, he's busy. She wants to know what the hell he's doing all day. So what plot convenience helped her today? Is it Katsu? Is it Hikaru? Or... yes, it's Taku! Here again to change our locations. Take it away, you scoundrel, you. So what is the secret place Tatsu spends all his time at? It's his job. Well, his other job. The nepotism one in Galen's cafe. Yeah, it's that anticlimactic. And what does Tsubasa decide to do when she finds out about Tatsu's new job? Yep, get the same job. You know, so he wouldn't be able to ignore/avoid her. Is she getting a job just so she could spend some time with the dude that ignores her? There is so much wrong with this goal. 1. Get a job for an experience or money, not for a dude. 2. It's not that easy to get a job, but she's a main character and the world literally changes to accommodate her, so... 3. That's kinda stalkerish behavior. 4. If he ignores you so much, he's not worth it, honey. Concentrate on someone that actually wants you. Taku. And lastly, getting this job makes her feel vindicated. Vindicated usually means to clear your name or to be proven right or reasonable, like justified. Neither definition really fits. Maybe writers wanted to use the word avenged, that would make more sense. Tatsuya annoyed her because he ignored her, so she will annoy him back by getting employed in the same workplace. It's not the way Tsubasa sees it though. She thinks this decision makes sense because she will be doing the project on this cafe for her business club, and also because Tatsuya is busy, so this way she can spend some time with him by distracting him from his job. Nope, she lost me again. Anyway, I spent way too much time on this useless scene, so we're moving on. Tako takes Tsubasa home, and she finally recognizes him as her childhood friend. We get a hint that something is up with Tako's brother. I'm sure this mystery will be explained in his route. And before he goes away, Tako basically tells Tsubasa that she likes Tatsu, something that makes our boy heartbroken. At home, she considers if she really likes Tatsu. She decides maybe, but Haruna's existence is her main obstacle. Oh, this part is so lacking in self-awareness, it actually cracked me up.
We're both interested in business. We're both the type to take our studies seriously. And we're both logical people.
Next day, it's time for another business meeting with Katsu. A meeting that gets interrupted by Tatsu. Apparently, Katsu is trying to sell Yukimura's assets, and also they know each other, and also they're related. Tatsu is against the deal because people will lose their dreams or some shit. Never mind that. After the meeting, Katsu corners Tsubasa and basically interrogates her / aggressively asks her out. She's still spineless, so Sho has to appear out of nowhere to save her. So that situation is solved. Tsubasa is still avoiding smart thoughts at all costs, so instead she's thinking, oh no, I argued with Tatsuya, and if I don't get it together, that might force Kayo, her sister, to become CEO, and she will never forgive me for that. Yeah, because his natural daughter is not the first choice for the position of CEO, and because their dad is definitely the type to go against his children's wishes, yeah right. The next day she runs into Sho and Tatsu on her way to the class. Well, Tatsu is still avoiding her, so it's only Sho really. It is important because 1. Sho warns Tsubasa that Katsu is a creep. Yes! You did it, Tsubasa! You got the 3x combo! It's incredible! Will she go for the 5x? No, that would be impossible. Anyway, congrats, Tsubasa! Now you definitely know that Katsu is a bad guy. Hopefully. And also Sho tells Tsubasa that Tatsu has always been rude loner. That makes her guilty because Taku also said he was always a loner, and she thinks that she should make more of an effort to get along with Tatsu. Why? It's not your job to fix him, If he's gonna be rude and judgmental, it's his problem, not yours. Screw him, get a new partner. She doesn't. Instead, she asks Tatsu for more study sessions. He agrees, but they have to study at his mother's home, for reasons. And it's far away, so they will go by car. It's a perfect place to have an argument, because Tsubasa can't escape. In short, Tatsu is being judgmental and misogynistic piece of trash, accusing Tsubasa of being too busy dating around to study, essentially slut-shaming her even though he's the one always bailing on her and practically abandoning their partnership. And also accusing her of trying to destroy his family or some shit because she's a future CEO. All of this bullshit makes Tsubasa so overwhelmed that she jumps out of the moving vehicle and runs right into the moving truck, isekai style. She passes out. She wakes up in Tatsuya's home. We meet his spirited sisters Sakuko and, unfortunately, Chisaki, who is more excited about Tatsuya carrying Tsubasa princess style than her getting hit by a f***ing truck. This lady, I swear. Anyway, Tatsuya apologizes for being an ass these past few weeks and they make up. Time for some boring family slice of life. Tsubasa has an awkward encounter in the bathroom with Tatsu's brother Yuki. Tatsu tells her how Katsu is currently clan leader and he's basically trying to destroy the whole clan. Chisaki tells Tsubasa how much she loves her cafe, and Tsubasa is now conflicted about the deal, even though her dad would only close shops that were already struggling and would go bankrupt soon. If they're losing their business anyway, isn't it better at least get some money for it? Tsubasa stays the night and has another nightmare, and Tatsu comes to her room to calm her down. She tells him about her mother, the ritual, the whole I have to become CEO to save my sister but I am incompetent thing. Tatsu also opens up about his family troubles, but Tsubasa is too busy falling asleep to listen. What a boring chapter. The next day, Tsubasa wakes up to find out that Haruna is here. Why? Because we needed to be reminded of her existence. She asks Tatsuya if MC is his GF. Again. She literally asked the same thing back in piano bar. What's with the memory issues in this town? Is it something in the water? Before Tsubasa can eavesdrop more, she meets Tatsuya's dad. I like him, he doesn't talk much. He leads her to breakfast, where she promptly makes conversation about herself, and then she and Tatsuya go to Yukimura's dojo to meet Tatsuya's grandfather. The writers are really committed to meeting his whole family, huh? What's next? Tatsuya's aunt? Tatsuya's dog? Tatsuya's cousin twice removed? Sounds exhilarating. Anyway, here's some stuff we learned in dojo. First, we see Tatsuya's dragon form. It's kinda lame. He loses a shirt, his ears are now pointy, and he has some face tattoos. No wings, no horns. It's enough for Tsubasa though. She keeps staring at his chest, the pervert. Second, Tatsuya's grandpa Daichi tells Tsubasa about the Dragon Mage War. Basically, long ago, Dragon's leader was a tyrant lady who wanted to rule over everyone weaker, so she raised villages and killed all opposition. Mages wanted to protect humans, so they fought dragons. I don't think I like the Dragon clan very much. Third, Daichi warned Tsubasa about Katsu. Oh my god, we can actually do it! We just need one more person! Just one more! Fourth, Daichi tells Tatsu to attack Tsubasa. He refuses, but Daichi threatens to attack her himself, so Tatsu decides to fight her after all. It's so dumb. Do you want your dojo blown up? Unfortunately, this time Tsubasa only raises an ice shield. Another time skip. Tatsu and Tsubasa go to work, but meet Haruna on the way there. Of course they meet Haruna. Can this stupid plotline be done already? She hugs Tatsu, so of course Tsubasa can no longer concentrate on anything, especially her fucking job. This girl is really pissing me off now. Katsu is here, he's pushy again, asks Tsubasa on a date again. What the hell is the plot of this route? Does it even have one? Or is it just boring everyday stuff? Tsubasa hangs out with Zemi, but only talks about her love troubles. Tsubasa goes to another study session, this time at Tatsu's and Taku's place. Tsubasa gets a gear crystal. Tsubasa learns that Haruna is Tatsu's ex, duh, and the breakup was messy. Oh, finally, something. Taku and Emi literally push Tsubasa to confess to Tatsu. She does, but in the cowardly and completely illogical way. Basically, she wants him to pretend date her, so Katsu stops asking her out and also to help with a business deal. It will send a message to who she stands with as Rokuro's daughter. It doesn't fucking matter who you're dating. If Katsu wants to sell shops, he will, because he can, because he is a clan leader. Or does she think Rokuro will not go through with acquisition because she's dating Yukimura now? He's a businessman, he'll do what's best for business. Tsubasa? More like Dumbasa. For some reason, Tatsu takes this whole rant as a signal to kiss her. He doesn't want it to be play pretend, so I guess they dating now? But if they dating already, what the hell is the plot now? And it's not like anything changed from these two dating. Tatsu is still too busy to make time for Tsubasa, so they only see each other at work or during their study sessions. Maximum what they did is to hold hands. He won't even call her by her first name, so this route impossibly got even more boring. I guess the writers realized it too, because one day, while Tsubasa and Tatsu walk near the river, they meet Katsu. There's some drops of lore. He didn't want to be a clan leader, he hates their stupid traditionalism, and he wants to destroy the clan from the inside, so they understand how dumb and rigid their laws are. And then it's time to get goofy. Katsu challenges Tatsu for a duel, and the prize is Tsubasa basically. Katsu needs her name and connections to achieve his goals. Tatsu impulsively agrees, and the whole thing is pathetic. I know it's easy to get confused, but Tsubasa is not some object you can't win. I hate them both right now. They fight, but no one wins. Tatsu badly injures Katsunosuke, but Katsu, these f***ing names dude, Tatsu, Taku, Katsu, chokes Tatsuya, and not in a kinky way. Clan's people take Katsu away to heal him up, while Tatsu and Tsubasa argue. She's like, you almost killed him, you can't kill people. And he's like, he's not people, I hate him, you shouldn't be around this sicko anyway. Why are you protecting him? Oh, I just realized it. It can be considered as warning Tsubasa that Katsu is a bad dude. Yes, we did it, folks! It's a 5x combo! The haters and doubters said we couldn't do it, but we did it! Now we know for sure that Katsu is a bad guy. For real, no cap, on God! Look, I have to make my own entertainment over here, okay? Anyway, Tatsu and Tsubasa break up. Surprisingly, I'm on her side for this one. The dude was way over the line, and what she said wasn't even hurtful, just the truth. I'm not the biggest Tsubasa fan, but even I think she doesn't deserve to date such human trash. Why does this route have 15 chapters? Show's one was 12 chapters long. We could have been done by now, but I know why. It's not because it's more interesting or more stuff happens, it's not and it doesn't, it's just that everything that happens is really stretched out. Like look, Tsubasa does her "oh woe is me" thing because of the breakup. Then Taku delivers a message that Katsu wants to see her. Katsu is still hurt, but he invites her to dinner, promising to answer any questions she has. Taku is still heartbroken from his unrequited love. Tsubasa agrees for dinner, but not in a date kinda way. Tsubasa goes to work and counts down seconds until her shift is over, then goes to dinner with Katsu. See, so much stuff happened, but none of it was important. This result could have been achieved in under 10 sentences. For example, Tsubasa is sad from the breakup, she gets an email from Katsu apologizing and inviting her to dinner to answer her questions. She's suspicious and doesn't want to go, but curiosity gets the better of her and she goes. There, same result, way shorter. Everything that was removed was useless. We already know that Taku is somehow involved with Katsu and also heartbroken. We know that Katsu doesn't like the clan because of their dumb traditions and that he needs Tsubasa to achieve his goals. It's cute that Galleons like cats, but we don't have to know that. It's all just pointless repetition that acts like padding for the story where nothing happens. And it's not like this dinner not date is different. On the surface, a few noteworthy things happen. First, we witness some crazy glazing from Katsu. Epitome of modern woman, my ass. Second, Tsubasa is surprised that Katsu knows about Shizuka being her mother. Honey, your dad is a very public figure, and he was legally married to your mom. It's not a difficult thing to figure out. Third, Katsu being a creep. He wants to bet her because she's a homunculus. But the only kinda sorta important piece of information is that Katsu had a sister. She was a good leader, but got killed by mages several years ago. And the way he wants to use Tsubasa is for her to marry him. In return, he promises that she will never need for anything and also she can smash him if she wants to. What a deal. She refuses. Couldn't we get this info faster? And another thing. I don't understand what writers want us to feel about Katsu. He is hot and carefree, but he's a man whore. He wants to get rid of traditions, but he's a criminal. He is nice and pretty honest with Tsubasa, but he also tries to assay her, but he apologizes right after. Not every writer can create a grey character well, so just commit to something. He's either misunderstood or he's a creep. They did the same thing with Julius, by the way. He just wants to protect the Dark Phoenixes. Through torture? It's just messy. I really want this route to end already, so I'll try to speedrun the rest of the chapters. Tsubasa gets the dad's backstory, the one from Cho's epilogue, and again forgives her mother out of nowhere. She gets the nightmare where she has to choose between Tatsu and Katsu. It's the most pointless choice in the game. It doesn't even change the flavor text after the choice. Haruna comes to talk with Tsubasa and tells her that Tatsu has been acting up since the breakup and also their dating history. Basically, they got together in school. Tatsu was already too busy to make time for his GF. She opened up about her dream and he pissed on it. She got mad, he got offended. So they broke up. Another proof that Tatsu majorly sucks. Tsubasa gets attacked by Lightning Mage. She is not a damsel in distress, but she has to be saved by Taku. Taku is a PI, and he was working with Ikimuras, but also Kazuma's. Katsu ordered someone's murder, because he's bad, remember? Tsubasa will spend the night in Taku's and Tatsu's apartment for safety reasons. Tatsu issued a formal challenge to Katsu for the leadership of the clan. He also plans to drop out from the uni. She and Tatsu make up. Katsu visits Tsubasa at her job and asks her who she will be rooting for in the fight. The whole gang has a pre-battle party. Taku finally confesses to Tsubasa. I hope he can move on now. Tatsuya and Tsubasa get back together. My condolences. It's the day of the fight. Tsubasa's sister is dating Tatsuya's brother. No one's surprised because no one cares. The duel begins and Tatsuya wins. Everyone congratulates him and he finally calls Tsubasa by her first name. It played out like victory, but honestly I wish Katsu would win, because at least he has some understandable motivations, and because I honestly don't like Yukimuras at this point. But that's it. That's the end of the route. So let's check out the endings. First, the bad endings. Tatsuya has two. For the first one, you need to act uninterested in Tatsuya, but not aggressive. In this ending, after the breakup, Tsubasa goes to visit Katsu on her own volition. She tells him about the breakup, he tells her about his wound. The doctor comes to visit him, so Katsu offers Tsubasa a spare room to rest, so they can talk later. She has a nap, and when she wakes up, Tatsuya is here. He decided to agree to the deal if Katsu leaves Yukimura properties out of it. He sees her, immediately jumps to conclusions like he does, and basically tells her that they're done for good now. Good riddance. But Tsubasa is now super ultra mega sad. Katsu explains that Tatsu is a dumb idiot and he doesn't understand that Katsu fights so no one would be forced to become like him or Tatsuya. That traditionalism is really not good actually. That he wants a world where children are not forced into adult responsibilities because of tradition. And he needs Tsubasa to make this dream come true. He hugs her, asks her for her help, and she agrees. I guess it's supposed to be a bad ending because Katsu ended up using Tsubasa, like she doesn't know he's using her, but she does though, he literally told her, and she agrees with his ideas, so it's more like a partnership really. Is it a bad end only because she didn't end up with Tatsuya? I don't know man. Next. For the second end, you need to be pretty aggressive with Tatsu. Yell at him, call him out on his bull, don't trust him, and root for Katsu to win. Sure, it leads to a bad end, but at least it makes the journey a bit more bearable. In this ending, Katsu wins. At first he wanted to exile Tatsu, but at the end of the fight he decided, f it, you're annoying, so I'ma kill ya. No one stops him because of tradition. It's like double irony. Katsu upholds traditions he also hates, and Tatsu dies because of traditions he loves so much. Nice storytelling for once. And Tsubasa can't stop him, can't do anything. So Tatsu is dead, Tsubasa is sad, and Katsu promises that she will rule by his side now. Again, this is bad, and I'm a bit confused. Both ends sounds pretty good to me. What about the main endings? Let's check out the dark ending first. To get it, you need to be more aggressive to Katsu. In this ending, Tatsu and Tsubasa visit recovering Katsu. They tell him that the deal went through, but only people who wanted to sell sold. Tatsu also wants to use Katsu, so he doesn't exile him or anything. Also, Katsu tells Tsubasa that she will make a half-decent CEO. He really should stop lying to her like that. They go to visit Chisaki's cafe, where Tsubasa finds out Haruna left a gift for Tatsuya's birthday that he apparently forgot. Outside they argue for a bit, she's jealous of Haruna, he's jealous of Katsu, then they immediately make up and go to Tsubasa's to make out and or smash. I guess it's a dark end because they don't really trust each other and their relationship will be full of jealousy. Whatever, next. For a passionate ending, you need to be nice to both dudes, but more horny for Tatsu. The gang has a party in celebration of Tatsuya's victory and the new role of clan leader. Daichi apologizes to Emi on behalf of the dragons. You know, because she's a mage. It's portrayed like a big deal, but personally I think it's a cop-out. He's one of the oldest clan members and the grandson of the girlie who started the war. He apologizes to Emi, the random young adult mage. What, he has too much pride to apologize to some of the mage leaders? I think he's not really sorry then. Tatsuya is here and the party starts. At the end of it, Tsubasa and Tatsu go to a quiet place to get some alone time. It is some waterfall clearing, but never mind that. Here comes the funniest line in the route. "You're one of the most intelligent people I've met," he says. "Better suited for business and passionate about business," he says. "Good with people," he says. Stop, I can't. You can choose to hook up or not, but they won't anyway. Taku cockblocks them. The end. Okay, that's two lame endings now. Maybe the Mystique one will be better. I think it's supposed to be canon for Tatsu because a lot of choices give points to Mystique End. In this ending, Tatsuya takes Tsubasa to some local festival. After some cringe interactions with his family, he leads her to a statue of a woman and a dragon. He tells her a story about how half-dragons came to be. One of the 5 original dragons came to the human realm and fell in love with the girl. She loved him back, so he turned into a human form to be with her. They had a daughter, and she is the ancestor of all half-dragons. Don't worry about biology. As Tatsu explains it, the dragon blood never thins out. And also half-dragons can only reproduce with humans, so that's fun. And he's supposed to marry before he's 25. You know, because tradition. That thing that Katsu hated. I guess Tatsu decided to preserve it? And now all the disrespectful comments from Tatsuya's family about future grandchildren make sense. They basically treat Tsubasa like a breeding stock. Finally, our leader found a baby-making machine. It's official. I f***ing hate Yukimuras. Katsu, come back and send a tsunami or 5 on them. I guess at least Tatsu doesn't pressure her. According to this one line, he won't ask for marriage if this is not something she wants. They hug. The end. If nothing else, this route is consistent. It ended like it lived. Boring. Let's get over POV and epilogue real quick. POV is from that time he attacked Tsubasa in the dojo. He fights her, he feels bad about it. That's literally it. The epilogue is still unnecessary 3 chapters long. But this time, We got new sprites for Tsubasa and Tatsu. Well, a new hotter sprite for Tatsuya. Tsubasa is still her normal self, but she refuses to brush her hair now, I guess. It's 2 years into the future. Tsubasa works for her dad's company, Tatsuya's been a clan leader. They still hella awkward with each other. We follow them on their date. They go to some restaurant where worker thanks Tatsuya for saving their place from acquisition. Tsubasa thinks Tatsuya doesn't want to marry her because he will be turning 24 soon and he still hasn't asked her yet. They go to movies. Date ends. Now Tsubasa gets attacked by a sound mage. She's still incompetent, so she falls from the bridge together with an assailant and passes out. When she wakes up, it's at Tatsuya's home. I could swear almost the same thing happened before. Tatsuya confirms my suspicions. He tells Tsubasa about the time she kissed the moving truck. Apparently the time seemed almost to stop before the truck hit her, and the same thing happened now. So she's immortal because the world literally stops time before she can die. Write that down! Write that down! Tatsuya feels insecure that he can't protect Tsubasa from almost dying but not really because she's fucking immortal. The next day they go to meet up with Katsu. He's now sort of ambassador for the Dragon Clan. Tatsu is still jealous of him. Before they can meet though, the building gets attacked by 2 mages. The gang defeats them, of course. Katsu reveals that attackers are not really part of the mage society, more like extremist group. They were the ones that killed his sister too. And he knows all that because the mysterious person told him. It's probably a setup for sequel. And we also find out that Tatsu keeps Tsubasa in the dark, because he wants to protect her or some shit. This rightfully pisses her off and they argue. The one to resolve this conflict is Tatsuya's father. He can relate because he's human and it took ages for Chisaki to stop treating him like a fragile doll. But it's not really the same, because Tsubasa is not just a human. She's a super powerful sorceress that literally cannot die. You can't protect her from anything, because nothing is a threat to her. Tatsu is a controlling freak, that's what I'm saying. And he's here now. They make up again, I guess arguing over little things and then instantly making up is their couple MO. He leads her to a sunflower field where he proposes to her. She's super happy. Optionally, they can get their freak on. The end. God, finally. Okay, so maybe it wasn't that bad? You know what? No. F that noise. This route sucks. I wanted some cute or epic supernatural romance, and what I got is a fucking middle school, stupid, cliche-filled, boring, barely story with little level of cringe. It's the same shit with the pacing, but for some unholy reason, this route is 3 chapters longer. Extra chapters it really didn't need, because they all spent on pointless, needless repetition. All characters do and say the same things over and over and over again. It's so boring and infuriating. Stop treating your readers like idiots. I hate Tatsuya and I hate his whole family too. My favorite moments were when Tsubasa died, and my favorite endings are the bad ones. What the fuck? That's 4 hours of my life gone forever. I paid money for this shit. I should be paid for enduring this schlock to the end. My god! I'm repressing everything connected to Tatsuya starting from now on, because this level of anger is not healthy. Next video will be all about Shinji, so that's something to look forward to. It's okay, after what we've been through, nothing can hurt us anymore. Leave a like if you enjoyed my suffering. I would also love to hear which moment of this route angered you most. And if you made it this far, consider subscribing, because we are not done yet. Thank you for your time and have a good one.